Okay, so it says I'm live. Now I gotta
But
check
it's
everything
gonna be a
live.
different stream.
No,
Yeah, your info will be different. I'll take a look see myself. I'll take a
I'm
look see
doing
myself.
too. I mean, it looks all right. It looks fine, right? Do we sound fine?
Yeah.
Looks good. Sounds good. I guess that's what matters. I don't know what it was doing, but
Maybe it's just the tags for some reason want updating. Properly.
I don't know. But something has to go wrong on a live show. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what else could what else could go wrong? But with that said, hey, welcome one and all.
Who are you? What's your name?
I just said I put the stream on my phone and it started talking. But I am Vanilla James, and I am with my great friend and co-host,
The Duck.
the Duck,
The Duck.
Olduk himself. We have a great show for you today. The heated debate, a little bit of news. But Duck, what you been up to gaming wise and just being a dad wise too? How's that been?
Being a dad is always fun. Don't let anybody else tell you differently. It's been good. We've had a busy week, I mean, family-wise, just getting back into the swing of things still with school and figuring that all out. Some homeschooling as well as, keeping my daughter on a couple days throughout the week. So it's just, and working and, everybody's got the same thing going on. So we're been working a lot with the DukNilla brand too, and doing a lot in the background with that.
More
and
news.
Then New World, New World came out today, so or not today, but this week. So
we will be getting into that.
I've been
very sure.
I've been playing, trying to keep it queued in, and because the queues are outrageously long right now.
We'll get into that. Don't you worry, little. Don't you jump ahead on me here.
I'm not just.
This is introduction time. Don't you jump.
Yeah. No, we've been. So it's been good. It's been a good week. There we go. A little brighter.
No, I'm like super bright. I have like all my lights on. I didn't turn any lights off. I probably should have done that before we went live. But you know what? I'll probably get up on when you're going on a rant and I need to walk away and I'll turn them off.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have a couple of those tonight, one way or the other. But yeah, otherwise working on our house too. Working on that process, and finally, they're still setting end of October, so we're supposed to be done by that. But I ran some Cat 6 Ethernet cable today, and so we got that ran to the rooms, and yeah, but yeah,
sounds exciting.
Yeah,
I've been pretty much up to doing the other part of our business, getting some stuff set up with that, and also having my kids just recreate themselves in sickness, just constant cycle. The circle of life. It's terrible. Yeah, it's been great. But we do have a little bit of news to get into this week. Nothing too exciting, I think, happened. But the most exciting thing, other than New Worlds coming out, was that we had Halo Infinite kind of open up to let people play and let us see the PvP aspect of it. And it looks hot. It looks great. I am a big Halo guy. I love Halo. I'm excited. I think as Duck is excited for New Worlds, I'm excited for Halo.
Yeah, I might check out Halo. It's not like like we've talked in the past in any games when it comes any type of futuristic type of feel to it. It's just never been my cup of tea. I didn't get into Halo back in the day either, and I don't know why. I don't know if I was playing Counter-Strike at the time, or if I was into World of Warcraft at the time. I don't know what it was that took me away from that genre, but I just never did get into it. I think I may have played it a little bit and just I think my younger age at the time got into that futuristic feel that I just didn't like. I've never anything futuristic. I just don't. doesn't catch me.
these
This might though. So
these games in the story, especially the like live cinematic trailers, they
hmm
WoW had live cinematic trailers that I really liked as well, but the
mm-hmm.
the Halo ones were, oh, they're just so good. Halo's story in every game has been extremely well put together, and I have high hopes for this one as well. As someone who's followed a lot of the lore of Halo as well, you know me, my lore. I need the lore.
Yeah, I guess
I
you can
need.
have it. It's all yours.
I
Yeah, we'll
love it.
talk about that in a little bit too. But it's all yours, man. I mean,
I know. I mean, we're gonna be getting into it
I'm
here
up.
shortly, but hey, though, I'm
Let's
excited. And another thing I'm
go.
excited for is you see the skins here on the image. Uh, I
They look
love the
pretty good.
skins here.
Yeah.
One thing we will be talking into later is I am beyond sick of microtransactions and transactions in games, and our debate here in a second is gonna have a lot of this entailed.
Going back.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
as a parent and a dad now, and as someone who's grown up almost at least my entire adult life and my entire teenage years is all gaming. I mean, we could go probably since I can, remember being,
Mm-hmm.
7 and above. I mean, I've grew up gaming. So to me, like the evolution of gaming has been my life. I've seen it. And when you see it like this, like we have kids growing up today who know nothing but transactions, game transactions. When I was a kid, game transactions really didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be a constant theme of our cast because I'm so passionate about it. I will always talk about it. And today's debate is going to be heavily forecasted with microtransactions and game transactions. Just me ranting.
Yep.
But with that said, I'm gonna go turn my lights lower real quick. But we got a debate coming here.
How come you got the Dwayne Johnson bod, huh? What's up with that?
Well, I'm
What you
just
trying to
saying.
say? What you trying to say?
I was working hard on this.
Okay, that look pretty good.
I spent about 10 minutes on this. But yeah, we have a very heavy debate right now coming here. And I'm just saying it might get a little heated, but for everybody to know, we're gonna come together at the end.
Oh, absolutely. A little air hug.
This is what I almost spoiled before we went live. It went on this frame, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm. I won't tell you I saw it or anything.
oh, did you? I tried to get your son to give me a better image.
Briefly. It's okay. It's all. I mean, it's not. Him and his picture taking is never the greatest. I was wondering what he was asking for. He was like, why are you getting all on my face taking a picture? He's like, don't worry about it.
I'm
worried about it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, he wasn't. I wanted a side view picture.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, it didn't work out. I think this worked out a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely didn't just creep all your social media, though. Don't worry.
Right, I'm sure
You need more privacy settings. What I'll say.
Whatever. It's all good.
All right, but we're gonna get into it. New Worlds. How's what? More importantly, how's New Worlds been for you, Doug? I'd like before I go on my rant and rave because you're the one who's played it. I haven't got to play it yet.
Right.
I have my deep concerns before I want to invest my money, but you have played it. What's it been like playing it?
Yeah, it's been just a short. It's been really good. But I logged in Tuesday morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
It went live Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time, or 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. Central time, 8 Eastern. I was able to get in right away. Had a queue of maybe like 15, 20 people. Got in, played for a couple hours. I had no issues whatsoever. No latency, no lag, no issues with the game. It ran very, very smooth for me. The graphics were amazing. Game looked great. I had probably an hour maybe 2 hours tops in all the beta. So I didn't play much. I'm not a big fan of playing in beta because I want to experience the game when it comes out. I don't want to play because to me it's like leveling another character again. I'm not a fan of alts in that sense anyway. I mean, I've done it, but it's like I want to true feel the game when it goes live. Um, I'm loving it. It's been good. The gameplay has been great. I've been taking my time with it. I said I'd be more into the lore. I really haven't been. There's a lot of lore, a lot of reading you can do within the game. There's a lot of notes that are left on tables in certain areas that you can go into, and you get experience for clicking on it. That's pretty much the only reason why I click on them. And then I move on to what I'm doing. But there's a lot of stuff to read and a lot of stuff to go through. You can spend a long time leveling by just reading a lot of that stuff. So I decided not to. But I am taking it slower. I'm not rushing. I'm only level 16. I think some of the people in our company are 25, 20, right at 26. So they're moving a lot faster. The major issue I'm having with the game is blowing up. That's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. I'm glad. I think they hit almost a a mil on Twitch with viewers watching. They
Pretty
had the
good.
in-game drops, so that was cool. I got some skins through that. They do skins. So I got some stuff. They're not the best. I mean, I use them just because they're kind of cool. But I like the original ones. I think those are even better in some sense. Um, but yeah, the gameplay, the feel. I've been playing solo. I haven't done any PvP. I've been doing mostly PvE the whole time. You can flag yourself on and off at any time. Pretty much, you could go to certain areas and turn it on and off. But I've been pretty much PvP, and it's there's been some tough battles. The gameplay, the style of the gameplay is really cool. It's not your tab and shoot like World of Warcraft, right? You have to actually aim. You have to do a little bit of area effect. You have to throw it in the right spot. So I love that play style. I think it's a different play style. I'm playing sword and board is what I started with, and then I added I want to say it's just a gun. I can't remember the name of it actually. A muzzle, like musket, right? Is that the word for it? Yeah. So they had a
Muzzle
musket. I
loader,
was using
musket.
that. Yeah. So I was using that as my second because you have to level your weapons based on the kind of spec you want to play, right?
Hmm.
So sword and board is what I play, and I want to be a tank in it, so I'm playing that
You
mostly.
would.
Yeah, and musket. So I've been doing musket as a secondary, and then I did a bow as well. I'm messing with that. I just got my first great axe two-hander. That thing's pretty sweet though. The one of the skills is like it's an amazing jump up, twirl, and hit the ground type of thing. The
Twirl.
animations are
Jump up
really
and
good in this
twirl
game. Oh yeah,
as a tank.
it's more like slow motion, turn around and just like
Hmm.
smack the ground. It's pretty sweet. Their animations are great. So overall, yes, I've been liking the game so far. What I haven't been liking is the queue times. That's been
Yeah.
horrible. The server that our company picked, and we got about 40 or so in our company. You can have up to 100. Um, I am right now. I'm queued right now because I had to work this afternoon. I'm at 1,824 out of I was at 2,000. So I'm probably not going to be playing on this server tonight because that's could be 4 to 6 hours,
Yeah.
queue time.
And see,
So
what's sad to say is my major concerns aren't going to be about queue time, but I will say this: I'm really
mhm.
excited to play this game still.
Yeah,
Even though I'm about to rip its butthole wide open and shove some truth up it. Like
hmm
there's deep concerns, but I'm really excited. The game looks great. The story looks
yeah.
pretty. Like
The story
I've
is good.
actually, because
Yeah.
I don't own the game yet. I have been deeply looking into the lore. As if you watch this cast at all, you know I love lore. I love the
hmm
story of things, and this is pretty rich. I mean, if you haven't gone and watched like the trailer they put out for it, it's really really good.
Right.
I'll probably share it within the DukNilla Discord, so you can
hmm
all see it. It's really good. It's got me
No,
jonesing to play.
yeah, they've done a great job with the graphics and look and the lore. Like you said, there's
Hmm.
tons of it. I
This
didn't
is
know how
not.
much because I didn't look at it. I didn't look
Yeah.
into it, right? Because it wasn't my thing. But
I
you're finding
wanna
a lot of it, which is awesome.
I wanna ask you a very serious question right now,
Hmm.
before we get into our fisticup debate.
Hmm.
Is this the WoW killer, in your opinion? With the little amount of time you've played, is this the WoW killer,
I don't know
or
if I can
can it
answer
be?
that yet.
Do you think
I
it
think it
can be at
has.
this point?
I wouldn't say. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's got potential to. Um, the potential that I think is hurting them is the queue times.
Hmm.
I think that is a major issue that they have to have fixed. Um, what they're doing is, I think from what I've read, there's only 1,000 players per server, so max 1,000, and that's why there's queue times. Valhalla is one of the servers in NA East. Usually, roughly averages over 8,000 on a queue. You wouldn't play for a day or 2 days with an 8,000 queue, because nobody's logging on. Most of the people you'll see when I'm in there, they're either running in place, which typically that's going to AFK you anyways and knock you out. They're running against the walls. They're swinging. They have like bots set up. I've seen people in the cities. They're hitting the walls as they're running in place.
For New
So that
World?
keeps them, yeah. So it keeps them logged in because it's a 20-minute log out time, right?
Hmm.
So the other day, because I really wanted to play, and I can't. I wanted to play on my character that I made. So yesterday, I think it was, my son was home. I was going to do some work and had worked with some clients, and I was like, just go back and check every 15 minutes, make sure I'm logged in, move my character around a little bit, keep me in, right? So he does it. He does a good job with it. I get home, we're doing a podcast, NFL podcast. I'm into it. I forgot to alt tab, and I'm back into another queue of 1,600. I was so mad.
You're welcome.
So I ended up not playing it until what, like midnight, you know what I mean? So I didn't play it for
I
a
heard
while
you
because I
played
ended
a
up playing.
much better game too. You played
No,
and the salt. The
no. Oh, I was salty.
you were so
I was
salty.
salty.
You were,
There
I
was a
was
little bit of
trying to
messing around
control
with it too.
myself and my laughter because I am the type, like, when someone gets mega salty, I just can't be. I
Right.
can't help to, like, hit
No, I was.
giggle, and you
Now
were
listen,
like beyond that point of
it,
salty.
I wasn't. I was playing a little bit with that too because we were having fun. You know, you
I
guys are goofing
I
around with it.
couldn't
You guys weren't
tell.
super. You guys weren't. I was. You guys weren't super serious about it, and I was kind of laughing, so I was fine with it. No, I was just
Yeah.
messing around too. But some of it was. I'm like, this is a little frustrating. But yeah. If they can get, so what they've been doing is, all they're doing is adding more servers. So they had 28 servers to the NA East. From what I've just looked at, they didn't add anything to the West. They added more to South America. So they're adding more servers, and they said in about 2 weeks will allow you free transfer. Well, you mean so I got to sit in a queue time for 2 weeks until I can transfer and play my guy? That ain't cutting it. So you're gonna lose people, as much as people are. I don't know how many people are on Twitch now watching it, but I mean, my whole follow channel and recommended is all New World, right? I think Shroud has like a couple 100,000 people watching him still. Um, if you look at it, it's at 472,000 right now on Twitch alone that are viewing. And granted, majority of those people that are viewing are playing this game. This isn't like Tarkov or like some other games where it's all PvP focused and you're worried and your anxiety is going to be high. You don't have to. You could do PvE. You could just chill in the background. You can level your character and have fun. So I think that's the thing. If they don't get that straightened out in the next few days, it's gonna set them back. Um, but can this be a WoW killer? It absolutely can. They have to make choices and decisions though, and they have some major ones coming up. Jax.
The it is a sick pick. Jeff Bezos will figure something out.
Well,
Which is my major concern.
he ain't doing anything with it. He's not even part of the company right now. So,
This,
as far as we know, you know what I
yeah,
mean, we
yeah,
don't know
okay,
that for sure.
okay. Trust
But
me, this game. I mean, it's been
listen,
in development for a while. If you don't think they've cherry picked ideas off other games, you're out of your mind.
well,
Even in the when they talk about, and I'm gonna start. Here comes the jabs. All right, get ready. You know,
mhm.
I'm a ropadobia here. Even in their early talking, they've mentioned other games, and I'm specifically about pay to play or pay to win.
Mhm.
They talked at extent about that this game will not be that. I, I've listened to history, okay? I've heard this song and dance before, and I'm okay. You know, I'm happy you say it, but your actions speak louder than words, and the other words they've spoken, which we will get into later, raise those red flags that this could just be all talk. Now, they definitely pay attention to WoW. They
Mhm.
definitely see the numbers declining. That's why they push the deadline back, in my opinion. Because in my opinion, I think they had a lot more transactions within the game, and at late last minute took it out. I think they had way more that they wanted to do, and I also think there might have been some. I will say there probably were some bug issues and some things like that. But I think they wanted to test the water with some of these transactions, and they did not get the response they were hoping to get.
Mhm. Yeah, I think we've seen some stuff in the past. We've seen some Twitters out, some Twitters and stuff like that about this whole pay to win or pay to play or whatever you want to call it.
Pay for
Um,
convenience.
Microtransactions, yeah, convenience. Um, we talked briefly about this week about it, and they're from what they posted, they're really watching feedback from the players, and there's a lot of people upset about what's going on with that. Right, so
I
that's
hope they
why
do.
in alpha and right now within the stores, right, we have some pics of that. They are just skins, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're things within the game that you could use. They're dyes to make your things look better. The housing is amazing in this game, by the way. I haven't gotten one yet, but I'm excited about that. I really wanted WoW to get into the housing. I think that would have been a huge thing for me, and I would have probably stuck with it. But anyway, there's a lot of changes, and there's some stuff that still could happen
By the way, housing they
with
totally
this.
cherry picked in Final Fantasy, which again,
It's fine,
kudos to
but
them
listen,
for taking the
you
best aspects of some MMOs
yes,
and creating it in their own. I'm not gonna. This that these are the great things that
you
I'm
have to do
excited to
that.
play this
You
game.
can't you can't fully invent everything and be different on every aspect of a game coming
Mm-hmm.
out. And that's the whole point. I mean, that's World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy. They were the ones coming up and coming with that and understanding that this is what it needs. And now other games have a platform that okay, this is what we can go with. How can we make it better? How can we take a few things? WoW did the same thing. They cherry picked everything. All their different stuff
It
was
was
all
called
cherry picking.
EverQuest.
Yeah,
Like, let's
yeah,
be
right.
for real.
They
It's
took
called
everything from
EverQuest.
there. And then when other games were making up stuff, they did the same thing. They were cherry pick. Oh, let's do this before that's a good idea over there. Let me snag that and
I
throw it
mean,
in our
let's
game
be
too.
honest. The
They did
war,
the
what
same
was it?
exact thing.
I believe it was Warlords. That whole you sending your troops out to go do a thing. That's a mobile
Right,
game. That's literally what that
right.
was. That was a mobile game. That was a
Yeah, they
mobile
still
game
have
put
it.
into WoW. That's what it
Right.
was.
Because you could do it on the mobile. You
Yeah,
could do it on the
it was
mobile app.
literally to me. It
So
was
you could do it on
literally
the
a
WoW
mobile
app.
game,
So
and
it's
it's what happens when a corporation gets greedy and
right.
loses all aspects of creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, in my opinion, why WoW is dying. I don't think it's dead. I mean,
Well,
EverQuest is still alive. I will consider EverQuest dead at this point. It's extinct. Okay, there's still some animals in the wild, but we classify them as extinct. Okay, there's not enough to resurface the population. That
WoW's been out long
it's
enough
on
where
WoW is on the endangered species list.
yeah, like we talked about this in extensive in a recent podcast about wow, for them to get any better, it would have to be a version 2 and they would have to go more with their look of their cinematics or even like the New World type of look for
Hmm.
it to have any possibilities of it becoming a very good game again. So I I don't think it's ever happening. I think they're just riding the curtails of this game to see what else they can do, and hopefully something else will pop up. You know, through Blizzard, but I don't see what's the future. I don't know. There's too many other good games coming out that came out like New World. Ashes of Creation is another one that we will talk about in future podcasts. That's another great game that's coming out too, in that sense too. So I
I think
don't.
New Worlds is the one that's gonna stay for a while. I think
Oh
they
yeah,
have the
yeah, oh
money.
yeah. It's not
They have
right.
they have the money to start the game.
Mm-hmm,
They've and they've created a great universe for people to want to dive into. I mean, I'm about to
mm-hmm,
rip it apart here, but
mm-hmm.
I'm still excited to play the game, and I'm really glad actually that I've gotten to sit back and not play it for a bit, to kind of take a step back and look at the things and not have in my opinion, a biased mindset of like, oh my god, this game's so fun. Don't
Mm-hmm.
make fun of the game. I love this game. I get to kind of sit back and go, wait a second. Like, what? Put, put the curtains back, all right? You ain't hiding nothing. And I not to say that these things are gonna come true or that they won't listen to feedback, but I'm deeply concerned, and we're gonna get into some of those, and a lot of those deal with the transactions within the game. We'll go through some images here real quick, like some of these skins above us.
Yep.
You can get these skins in game. Some of them, some are in store skins. My biggest concern is this is a progression based game, right? The idea is that you need to progress. You're leveling your character, you're building stat points. You're going to be progression. Like, to me, you need something to get. There has
Mm-hmm.
to be chase loot. There has to be chase skins. Like, to me, these kind of games are cosmetic games. So you're trying, like, mounts. Like, I swear to God, if I see a mount in the store, I'm gonna start freaking out. I'm not gonna be vanilla James. I'm gonna be furious James.
There's no mounts in the game, so when
Yet.
will we see them? They might not be for a couple years,
But
if not
that, see, in
longer.
that,
So
like, this is the step though. Like, these are the
mm-hmm.
things that worry me. Be like, oh well, skins are okay. What's the difference between a skin and a mount? There's really a mount. Even in WoW, mounts are just skins.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a skin to your speed increase.
Right.
So
What's wrong with that?
when I can purchase it in the game, it lessens the value of it. And time is value. When you lessen time and you lessen value, it takes away from the experience, and it takes away from the value I think I'm perceiving by spending time in the game to
Mm-hmm.
accomplish something. When I spend hours to accomplish something, it makes me feel good. But then when somebody can come up and spend $20 and accomplish what I just took hours to do, it takes away the value of what I've done. And that's the deepest concern for me, because that's what I enjoy about these games. That's what gets me continuously coming back, is like, I want to, like, oh, I have to and you know how much I hate this word grind. But in these kind of games, like,
Right.
it's a grinding game. You need to
Right.
grind to get that XP, to get to the completing that dungeon, to hope for the random drop of the super rare item that's so cool. Like, I gotta get it. And those are the things, like, I feel like these kind of games need, is that chase loot. And I feel like things like this are the red flag for me, where
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of circumventing that chase aspect of, the time for value. And that's what worries me the most when we start getting into skins like this. And now, you mentioned this when we talked before, that you're willing to pay for skins and stuff for a
Mm-hmm.
free game, which, for the record, this is not a free game.
It's not a free game. No, it's what, $40
40
if you want
bucks.
the original standard.
Mm-hmm. But there is no monthly
There's
subscription.
exactly no
I will
monthly
say
subscription.
this. I will say this. I would much rather pay a monthly subscription, because it would make the game more valuable within the loot system. I know there's different problems within that. I think we're going to see different problems with that when it comes to the bots, because there's no monthly subscription thing. But if you don't think Amazon weighed the difference between a monthly subscription or charging you skins, they are going to make way more money
Mhm.
charging people for skins. And that's already, to me, the start of the process of we could be getting into a game that completely is about money. Like, this is a beautiful game. This game looks amazing. And even just watching people play it, I want to play it. But if you don't think beautiful games and good games are ruined by microtransactions, you're out of your mind, because they can be.
I 100% agree with that. You know, a lot of the games within that we see that have these are mobile, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's starting to creep into PC console games. You're starting to see those little things, microtransactions. You know, we're seeing some of those within, like we talked about Fortnite and how you have to, you know, paying for the skins. You don't have to necessarily buy them. It's a free game. You don't have to do any of that.
And I want to point something out because I just noticed
Hmm.
it, and I literally just noticed this. But this is a point we talked about on our game transaction episode, which if you haven't seen, go back, go watch. We go on a rant about microtransactions, the history of it, and we tell you how they've been here the whole time. But
Hmm.
here's one that's real predatory, and I've talked about this before. This is something that there are countries already going out and attacking. This is the predatory nature of selling coins. So like, or selling currency within the game. So right here we have the currency chart for buying currency within New Worlds, right? So for $20 you get, it looks like a pretty reasonable comparison that every 1,000 is $1, correct? That's 20,000 is basically
Hmm.
$20, right? But when you look over here, we go to our last screen here. How much does that skin cost? Costs 13, right? That's $13 for that
Hmm.
skin. That means I'm left with $7 left over. That $7 can't even buy that axe.
Hmm.
So that means I have to purchase more
More.
money.
Right.
Which, this is where it gets predatory to me. Is because they know that you're like, look, I could sell you a little bit. You're gonna want that skin, but you're gonna have money left over. And what's what's the difference? I just need to spend $5 more, and I can get that.
Mhm. Yeah, this is nothing new. Fortnite does this exact same thing.
Oh, and this is that, and we talked about that
This
on
is
Fortnite.
absolutely nothing new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
this is
talked
the
about that.
same
This is the
concept.
predatory part of it.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what I hate. I would much rather us pay for a monthly subscription than to have to deal with this kind of crap, because this is, like I said, this is the kind of crap that I much rather that skin be within a dungeon or a really rare drop, and then when I see someone have it, it has more value. It has like
Yeah.
in-game value and not monetary
World of
value.
Warcraft, World of Warcraft is even worse. They have a monthly subscription. You
I
can
oh,
still buy
I'm not
in-game
defending.
currency.
World
But
of
listen,
Warcraft
no,
is the
no, hold on.
worst.
You can still buy in-game currency, and then you could use that to then buy the items with an auction house or within a vendor or wherever to use as a skin. It's even 10 times worse
Mm-hmm.
than what New World is doing or Fortnite or something like that. So they're really raking you over the coals.
Yep. No, even this slide we talk about. I mean, this one has. We got all the slides. I
Mm-hmm.
wish I imported them all now. I only put the couple up, but man,
Right.
I wish, because I would really like to deep dive into like how some of these, like for instance, right here we have 2 items at the very top that are essentially $10. So you could purchase a $20 package and purchase just these 2 items, not have leftover coins. But any other items here, if you combine the 2, you're left with coins.
Right.
And
Yeah, they mentioned the pricing on how they're doing all this, and I think they are getting feedback. I think these you might see some changes. I don't think these are
I would
set
love
in
to.
stone. I would be surprised if they make them any cheaper, which I don't think that'll ever happen, because
You
they've
know
already
they
went
they will
live with
never.
it.
Yeah, they will
But
never pull money back. Companies don't do
right,
that. Companies don't go,
no,
oh, people are buying this product, let me make it cheaper.
mm-hmm.
No, they always, it's a trickle up the price.
Mm-hmm.
It's let's see how much more they're willing to pay.
Right,
We're talking about Amazon. This ain't gonna happen,
right.
man.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
I would love to, and maybe this is something we can do while we're talking. I would love to tally up every item in the shop And if you purchase every item in the shop, how much is it?
And let me talk to you. This is how Amazon was built. Okay, they're built on buying and reselling. They're a
Hmm.
reseller from the ground up. We
I mean, mad respect.
we're doing the same thing. I've
I
done this
know,
for
but
years. So we're the same. We're I mean, I get what they're doing, and that's a different concept, different game. But hey, I'm trying to make some bank too. So if I can get an item from somewhere else and then sell it on Amazon and make more because of the reputation that the company's built, they built a lot of things in there. It's not easy to sell on there. You're not gonna get rich right off the bat. It's a lot of work.
I mean,
A
this is
lot
something
of work.
a little behind the scenes. This is part of our business currently.
Yeah.
Our other part of our business.
Right, and but this is the concept of what Amazon and they're bringing into their game, right? So they're kind of going
So,
off of where they came from. There's not really much different in that sense, in my opinion.
so is this game made to make money, or is this game made to make fans? It can be both.
Both.
It can be
Yeah,
both, but there's
absolutely
a big
both.
difference. Like there's a fine balance, right? There's a
So
fine balance of what people will tolerate, and this is also goes into the mindset of the generations we have, which is even more concerning to me, that our generations are okay with this kind of stuff. And that future generations, we pay this much today, they're going to pay more tomorrow. We talked about the subscription lifestyle, how everyday life now is all about subscriptions.
hmm
All about, before it's about what packages you had. Now it's all about what you're subscribed to. HBO Max, Paramount, even Comcast now has a subscription fee just to have internet, and you go get Hulu because you don't want to have the Comcast packages, but you're paying just as much, if not more, for it all.
right. This is I think this is kind of a market for Amazon because they have another company. They have many companies within Amazon, right? They have one called Amazon Gamelift that we didn't bring up or talk about yet either, but maybe we'll get into in depth about this because it's a dedicated game server that hosts the solutions for deploys, operates, and scales cloud servers for multiplayer games. So I can go onto their site, use their item, their set, and it's probably how New World maybe is used. Maybe it's used within this type of template. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that, but there's those options out there. So they have multiple different ways that you can get into gaming. So I see Amazon just diving into this. This is their first game that they've released. It's an amazing game. Can it be ruined by microtransactions? Absolutely. Am I a fan of microtransactions? No, I hate them. I'm not a fan of them. That doesn't mean I'll stop playing the game. And here's the reason is I have a choice to buy those things or not to buy those things. Yes, someone might get more XP. Yes, somebody might get a boost in level, and maybe that's still years out before that'll happen. Okay, so I'll already have it. Is I already looked it up. It
What
is
year did they say they will wait?
2022 as
Which
at
is how many months
that's a
away?
year. That doesn't. I'm not saying it's going to go live January 1st. If they did that, it would kill them. That's just absolutely the stupidest thing that ever happened. It's about a year out or longer. If I don't hit 60 in a year, I don't have options to do a bunch of other characters on the same server. I don't. I just tried it, right? I have one character. It gave me another option, but I couldn't even create another character on that same uh, the NA East. I
There,
couldn't even do it. I had to go to a different
there's some other
location.
problems within the game that can easily fix, and I think they will. Like, let's talk about what killed WoW, right? Can we both admit that the slow iteration of game transactions is
No,
what led to the downfall of WoW?
no. What killed WoW is not putting content out fast enough. And then what they did is they try to supplement this stuff in to money revenue coming in because they were taking a year and a half, 2 years before they were putting any really good content out. That was the problem. That's what killed it for a lot of people that I've talked to and a lot of people that I've
But
seen
what
and for myself.
ultimately, what killed WoW? Like you just said it.
Yeah, they gave in.
They gave so that's what did it. Like yes, the lack of content is what drove players to stop playing their game.
Right.
But people were still coming back when a patch would come out, and people still did. But what ultimately killed the game is just like you said, is they started to cheapen the things and add more microtrans. I mean, they just look at classic WoW. They admitted, they said we will never add these microtransactions, and then they added the WoW token, the ultimate form of the the microtransaction within the game. Not listening to the player base, not listen. And this is the things that I hope Amazon listens to. They've mentioned it and they said these things, which it gives me hope, and I really hope that they do. Like I said, I'm really excited to play the game. I'm still gonna play it. As soon as I'm able to, I will. But I'm going to. But I'm gonna be very, ears up, eyes alert. I'm going to be paying attention to the things they say very closely. I mean, I want to quote a couple things here. They said, this is a direct quote. We won't consider selling anything other than cosmetic items until 2022 at the earliest, right? That's our quote. At the earliest is 2022.
So that means probably not going to happen.
Because
of the feedback that they're getting.
Pessimistic view of it, right?
No.
Optimistic. Excuse me. Optimistic.
Yeah. It's because at the earliest, but they're still taking people's feedback on all that. There's a lot of pissed off people about this. They're not going to be happy. They might lose 10, 15, 20% of their player view or more. Who knows? But I think they're if you're not happy with it, you have to make sure you let them know. Because I think they're wanting that feedback. They're wanting to understand. If they don't, they're going to start adding DLCs. They're going to do other stuff in there to make up for that money. So you better remember, because that's the same thing WoW did. Every expansion came out, you had to buy it,
which was fine.
Even though you're paying monthly.
Yeah,
you're paying
which
monthly.
Was fine.
You still had to buy the expansion.
And see, here's the thing is too, and again, this is what led to our subscription age. I mean, WoW is a prime example of something that was an early on form of a subscription. You can almost say WoW was one of the first to help build you into our generation, build us into accepting subscriptions, because I got to pay my WoW subscription.
And they haven't stopped, and the price hasn't changed.
No. I mean, but here's the thing. I would be gladly, same with this game. I would gladly pay a monthly subscription rather than have in-game transactions. That's my viewpoint. Doesn't have to be yours. And another thing with our debate here and our arguments, one, be respectful to anyone you disagree with. That's very important. But, you don't have to agree with either of us 100%. You could agree with some of what Duck says, some of what I say, and formulate
none of what we say.
None of what we say, but formulate your own opinion, and look up the facts for yourself as well. Don't take everything we say as a written in stone. But
did you mention that they even contemplated doing like a battle pass type style program?
I didn't see that, but what I saw
is like Fortnite, right? Battle pass, buying a battle. So that's something that could be in the works too in the long run. Too.
I also think that's. I mean, we gotta think games. It's hard because each game is different.
You'll probably get gold in there, right? Just like you do in Fortnite.
I think that's predatory.
V-Bucks.
That's just predatory.
You
at that
give
point.
V-Buck, it's the same thing.
We could go into the whole tier system. Like the free battle pass versus the non one, and how predatory that is. I think that's extremely predatory, but
yeah,
I mean,
and it's a night.
Another thing about Fortnite too is it's an absolutely free game. Costs you nothing to play, nothing to do, absolutely nothing. One of the things that worried me was they talked about a pay for convenience. They talked about, well, right now we don't want to do anything. We might do XP boosts later on, which is to me where we start getting down the when you start rolling downhill and there's snow, you start picking up more snow.
Yeah, but
and that's what's coming if they start to do this, because they're not going to pull back on it. I mean, I hope they do. I hope they prove me wrong. And they're like, oh, we did this. You know what? My bad. But to me, they're testing the waters by doing that.
Right.
They're doing the, are you guys going to accept this? Are they accepting it? To me, that it's kind of that mentality. And here's another thing. I took a picture of this because it was too long to write. But they said the in-game store content will not give players an advantage in PvE or PvP gameplay. Our goal is to not provide anything that players find to be, quote, pay to win, unquote, for in-game store offers. No items in the store will give players, and this is the concerning part, instant lifts to their overall gear score, experience points, or impact territory control. No items in the store is a gate to experiencing game mechanics. Players should never feel they have to spend additional money to experience New World once they've purchased the game, as the price you pay at launch lets you play the entire release game. That sounds great, from start to the end, but in the middle, there's a very specific word they use, which is what terrifies me. That's the no items in the store will give players instant lifts to their overall gear score, experience points, or territory control. Instant. Does that mean there's over time lifts? These are the questions that get raised when you use that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And maybe I am reading too deep into it. I hope I am just reading too deep into it. But these are the red flags that get brought up. They start talking about pay for convenience. They talked about, well, we want everyone to be able to play our game, that those people that work, 8 to 10 hours a day, that they just want to come home and release, and they feel like they can't catch up to the people that play all the time. So maybe they just want to spend money and catch up to everybody. And that's the attitude that WoW had. And that's not what, to me, if you put the time into the game, you deserve to have a little extra. That's just how it should be. Right. When we, there's sacrifices to us working, yes. That's part of life. I mean, we spend the time we can with the games we love. It's not fair to the people that put the time in to want to build up to get to those things. The game has to have value. Like, the game shouldn't be just, if you don't think Amazon looked at those people like, the people who work jobs are going to give us money. The people that don't want to waste, they want to catch up to everybody else but not play as long. You don't think they have jobs? They're going to be able to give us money. If you don't think that's brought up at a board meeting, you're crazy. Like, that gets brought up.
You have to look at the point where these things are given to speed up a process. I get it. And we've seen it in WoW. We've seen those things.
To lessen the value. I'm very strict on that.
I don't know if it lessens the value, because it depends on what type of value you put on it. If you're a person that doesn't have time to put in the whole entire amount of time, it's no different than someone that has time to put a lot of time in.
Mm-hmm.
Their opportunity to now play with their friends, their opportunity to play with the people that they wanted to be with. They don't have to worry about grinding from the bottom up and not being able to get there, and then get to a point where you get burnt out and don't even do anything. I think what you're seeing in this is an opportunity that you're going to see. Anybody that's speeding up the process is missing out on a lot, right? They're still missing out on a ton. I'm going through the process of the game where I'm not rushing to go play with my friends to be on the top, because it's a new game. Now, say the game has been out 10, 12 years. That's 2 years, whatever. I don't want to spend the time grinding up to that. 3 months. It's going to be longer than that.
No, 3 months till next year.
I know, but like I said, it's not coming out January 1st, okay? Oh my God. It's not coming out January 1st, and it might not come out. They're saying it's a possibility. It's something they're keeping on the and they're being truthful about it.
Are they?
They're letting people know. Sure.
Are they?
They're saying it's a possibility of it coming out.
Are you going to listen to the snake oil salesman?
How? What do you mean?
I mean, I don't believe every word that comes out of someone's mouth, especially when it comes out of either a politician or a game developer.
No, but I'm saying they're telling you it's a possibility of it coming out. If they could have said, "Oh, this is never going to come out," and then 3 months later it comes out. They said it's a possibility.
All right. Every politician and every game developer will never tell you the full intent of what they want.
But you're
they
getting to a point.
what
No,
we
no, hold
tell
on.
us and what they
You're
tell
getting to the point
investors is different.
that you're talking about microtransactions. Okay,
Don't talk about
microtransactions have a
transactions, period.
possible. Okay, any transactions, whether it's XP, whether it's skin. We know skins are already out because it's already in the game, right? I already showed you that.
Damn shame.
But XP, rested XP, leveling, instant leveling has a possibility of coming out, and that's better than them saying it's not. I don't understand.
Oh, if they said nothing and then just rolled out with it, they'd have extreme backlash. I don't
That's
think
what I'm
that. All right,
saying.
here's the thing. I don't think
So
this this company is stupid. I don't think they're
no,
stupid. I think they pull these ideas out that they want to do, and they listen to the feedback and see what's the uproar. Do people cause a scene? Because we live in a different age too, where social media rules the world. Where
right.
they need they're gonna listen to the backlash they get on social media. If you don't think they listen to Asmongold talk about the stupid things, they've listened to him. They listen to other top streamers. I guarantee they're watching the top streamers play their game and they're listening to their opinions, even not on transaction stuff. They're listening to them on gameplay, on everything. I 100% believe they mentioned these things and they trickled them in. They told us what they know from the moment they made these notes. That the whole you get it just from them saying this game isn't going to be a pay to win or pay to play experience. They know people are frustrated by those things.
Yeah,
but when they mention it, to me, it's a test of will you accept it? They lure you in. This is the snake salesman, by the way. The snake oil salesman. Bringing you in. And do you want just water? Will you buy just this? They mentioned here's the pay. They put in the article the pay for convenience thing, and people freaked out. And this was a couple months ago. There's a reason we haven't heard about it for months. They haven't mentioned it in the last couple months. They haven't talked about it. The closest thing they talked about was what I just read, which was the no instant lifts. That's the closest thing we've gotten to them talking about it, is them reiterating that. That's the closest we've gotten. I 100% believe they've listened to that feedback, and I hope that us by not hearing it means they're going to pull back on it. I just don't have the confidence in an Amazon-owned company that they're going to do that. I don't think this is a for the players game only. If this was just for the players, these skins would be free. They'd be this. It would be an earned system. This isn't for the players. They're still in it to make money. And I'm not going to wholeheartedly knock them for it. I just want to call a spade a spade.
Yeah. So, reading about the tweet about us talking about that, they got some pretty backlash on it. Of having those boosts and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff is in-game availability as well. So you can get those things.
Yes, they talked about that as well. Yeah.
So you have that as an opportunity as well. So it's not like as if the only way to get it is to pay for it. Okay. So we have those.
But we gets into pay for convenience, which is where we start getting to the rabbit hole.
I have no problem with that. And
those are the turds to the rabbit hole. Okay.
Here's the reason why. This game is already a pay to play. You have to pay. Yeah, you have to pay $40.
That's not the pay. That's not the pay to play we're kind of talking about. But
it's a pay to play. You're paying to play the game no matter what. It's not free to play like it is on Fortnite. Fortnite, you don't have to pay a cent to play that game.
See, when we talk pay to play, we're talking more. You could call WoW a pay to play game.
Yeah, because you're paying monthly for it. My mindset is if I have to pay for the game at all, I'm playing. I have to pay to play it. Okay. Rust is the same way. And I'm going to bring up Rust in this sense too, because Rust can be a pay to win, a pay to convenience game. Even if you play PvE, if you you have it's the same as this game. New World's the same concept. You don't have to do those things. You can get them in the game. You can play the game. if I'm we're you know if I go and play on a modded PVE server, I'm not paying for that server. People are asking for VIP. I can pay for that, those little conveniences. I can get those things if I wanted to. I don't have to, but you're still playing the game as a pay to win because those mods, those plugins, those add-ons on that server are paid for. Those are not free plugins. Some of them are, a lot of them aren't. You have to pay for those because the developers are charging for that. So you're paying for those conveniences, you're paying for those things to get a 3x, a 4x server, a 10x, a 100x, whatever, so you can get to the end game and play it. To me, it's this almost the same exact thing. You're seeing some of those things come out. It might come out. If it is, good for them. I'm not buying it.
The difference between that though is I could play Rust without any of that within a server I choose. I could go play on a
You can't
server
on New
without
World.
any of that.
Right.
All right, but that New World could get to a point where I can't avoid all that. That's the difference. I
How?
can't. If they implement pay to increase, like if they implement pay for convenience or boosts,
Are they
I
making you
cannot.
pay it? Are they
No,
making you
no,
buy
no.
it?
I don't have to buy it, but I'm around people that are able to purchase it
Okay.
and lessening the value of the things that I'm getting. The time I'm putting in to level my character as a free player, I have to compete with that.
But you're getting those game things in game. They already said that. So that
You
anything
know
that you can
dang well,
buy,
it's
I'm going
going
by
to
what they're
take.
saying
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know you're listening to the
If
snake oil
you
salesman.
no,
I'm
no, no, no.
I
No, no, no,
know.
no. Stop, stop, stop. If you're getting to the point, if all you're doing is thinking about what's going to happen, you're never going to enjoy anything in life. You're never going to enjoy the games that they have right now. If that happens in a year, then so be it. Or if it happens in 3 months, so be it. I'm going to enjoy what they have now and I'm going to play the game and enjoy it. And if they get to the point where it's not worth me playing, I won't play it. They won't get my money. They won't get my for the expansions or their in-game skins and currencies. I'll go do something else. There's other games going to be coming out,
And
so
see
I
that
think you're getting
no, see that's a mentality I love because that's how people should play their games. They should play like that. That's how most people need to play their game.
right.
Like I want most people to think that way.
The
But
skins are very attractive
I'm
on some
also
of them.
going to get to the point though as you know, as someone who, you know, with my experience within these games is I want to make sure I'm putting my money in a company that I trust to do the right thing and that I like for me, I'm going to play this game. I'm going to get it, I'm going to purchase it, I'm going to play it, I'm probably going to stream it.
Mm.
But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to voice these concerns and express them because these are the things that, if unsaid or unchallenged, a company is just going to implement them because they see dollar signs, because they don't
Mm.
care about longevity. They care about quarterly reports. I see
Right.
the same thing within another game I love, which is Magic the Gathering, where the company very clearly cares about quarterly reports, instant profits. They don't care about consumer wallet fatigue. They just keep pumping out different products, more and more. There used to be a time
New
within
cards all the time.
Magic the Gathering used to have 4 sets a year, and maybe 1 or 2 sprinkled in there of like a supplemental product.
Mm-hmm. Featured or something like that.
There
Yeah.
were over 30 new products this past year for Magic the Gathering. 30. There's no way I could keep up with purchasing that many products, even if I just wanted to buy like one sealed box of everything.
Mm-hmm.
That builds extreme wallet fatigue, but the company doesn't. The company that's the people in charge, most of these people, the way it happens is they care about quarterly reports. They go up to the big bosses. They say, "Look how much money we made in quarter 1, 2, and 3." You know, get promoted. Well, guess what? They no
Mm-hmm.
longer are there, or they move on to another company and they express, "Look, I made X amount of dollars for this company in these quarters. Look what I could do for you." Shareholders love that. As some shareholders, especially day trading, you don't
Mm-hmm.
care about longevity. You care about what the profit I can get in quarter 1, from quarter 1 to quarter 3. What's the profit I can get from something?
Well, even like in Magic, that trickles down to your tournaments, right? Because isn't
Mhm.
it to where a point where you have to have a certain set or certain type of card to play? You can't always play the, you know what I mean? Doesn't isn't it how it works with Magic? I know other games are
There,
like that
I
too.
mean, we could go on about Magic. Maybe that's a
Well,
topic for another
I
time.
know,
But
yeah,
I mean,
but I'm
there's
just saying
this
in
weird
general.
there there's a debate to be had to make the game affordable, which I'm very big on. I think most cards should be affordable, which the game has become rather
Mhm,
affordable because of some of these things. But the game is also still a TCG, which is a trading card game. But it's a
mhm,
collectible trading card game. When people talk about Magic the Gathering, they talk about the price of some of the cards. They express how much cards are worth. I mean, I have cards to the right of me right here that are getting ready to get posted on the great eBay, and I have probably about $2,000 in just random cards, and the vast majority are under $75. But I
mhm.
mean, when you talk about a card game and you talk about you needing to play, $75 for a card can be expensive. And
Very.
uh, games like these are, this is literally a pay to win game. You're paying for the best cards to play, but it doesn't mean you're gonna win. There's still that RNG aspect. There's still the poker mindset of you playing cards. You're playing, you're mind screwing your opponent, which is what I love about the game. The different things you can do like that. But topic for another time. What my biggest comparison to that is though that these people in charge don't care. They care about quarter one to quarter three, quarter four. That's it. And that's what I'm worried about, and especially being owned by Amazon, that the people in charge aren't just caring about from quarter to quarter. I want to know that they want a 5 year longevity of the game. Like I would much rather hear them come out and talk about the longevity of the game. Like, listen, we want to launch the game based off of maybe consumer confidence, based off of like how people are playing the game and enjoying it. That we're going to come out with an expansion. We plan an expansion in a year and a half to 2 years. Like I'd much rather hear them talk about what we're going to do for the game, and that's what I really would much rather hear, is what they're going to do for the game than them talking about trickle in mechanics of purchases. I mean, purchases are the major concerns we have. But what builds confidence more is you talking about putting more game into the game. Giving me something, yeah, I can work
Mhm,
to 60, but I want to know that there's going to be an expansion after. Give me a timetable, give me a longevity thing, give me like, we're gonna do it maybe every 2 years, every year and a half, or we're gonna do them as the game feels
mhm.
like. If we feel the game's getting drier, we're gonna push that expansion up a bit. I would much rather hear stuff like that. That gives me more hope that it's just not a quarter to quarter thing.
Right. Yeah. I think overall you're seeing this. It's just like this genre. It's like this, you know, gaming mentality. We're seeing it in a lot of different games. Mobile games are really bad with this.
Oh, we could do a whole
Every
episode on mobile games and the
I don't
predatory
I don't
nature.
I don't even know if I want to because I'm tired of playing a game on a mobile and every turn I gotta watch a stupid commercial, or if not, I gotta pay for it. You know what I mean? I don't even have
YouTube's the
games on my
same way
phone.
now. You want to
Yeah, but I use premiums.
I know, but see, listen, that's how sad we're trained. We're monkeys,
Right,
okay? We're trained. We are
but this
trained to, like, listen. They throw
that's
they
my
throw an
TV.
ad in your face, though, right? They throw an ad in
Mhm,
your face that you can't skip, or you have to watch like five
right.
seconds of it,
Yeah.
get the premise of it before you could
Oh.
skip it, and it interrupted your viewing experience. They got
Mhm,
money off your view of that ad.
mhm,
So what they're saying is, hey, you could pay us X amount of dollars per month
mhm,
to
mhm.
avoid us shoving an ad in your face.
Well, it's like
So they
Hulu's the
win
same
win.
way, Netflix is the same way, all the TV shows are the same way, right? So my viewing of TV is YouTube. I'm
Oh, I have
probably
YouTube
shouldn't
Premium, by the
say,
way. I'm guilty as well. Yep, I'm
oh,
trained.
but I probably shouldn't say. I watch a ton of Rust movies. I just love the play of it. I love watching people play and see. I enjoy it. Right. That's
Speaking
my
of
TV.
Rust,
Yes.
We are working on a Rust server.
Rust.
We should
We
really
are.
talk about that. I mean, let's talk about a little
Yeah.
positive here.
Right.
We have our own Rust server in the
Yeah.
process. You know, we're I don't want to say
We're
we because
slowly working on it. We're
Duck is
slowly working
working
on
very hard.
it.
I'm just the guy that nods his head and comes to the meetings and says, "I don't like that," or I'm the guy. I'm the big wig over there.
He's the
I'm
one
the
pushing
quarterly
the
guy
numbers,
looking for
right?
the long
Yeah.
term.
Right.
I'm like,
No,
I
this
don't like that.
we're building this for the long term.
Hmm.
We knew New World's coming out, so we're extending some time through that. Our goal is to kind of go live with it November 4th, first Thursday of the month, and we're looking at doing monthly. So there's a lot, and this isn't the only server we want to do, right? We want to do this one solely a PVE. There probably some PvP experiences within it. Um, we're still working on that. We're still working on a lot of stuff. We're adding add-ons, plugins almost daily, and then working the kinks out. And so it's something that I've had a passion for about a year, and it's something I want us to see if we can be a part of. It's a community that can be good. It can be toxic, just like any community is, but it's how you build it. And the way we're building DukNilla is a community that's driven to help each other, to have a good time, to have multiple things to do, hanging out. We're going to be doing monthly things within Rust too. We're going to be doing some monthly meetings with everybody. Anybody can come that's playing. We'll talk a little bit about it. It probably be, I don't know when our first one will be for that, but we want to get into that point. There's other games we want to play more of too. I mean, if people are interested in New World, hit us up, join the Discord, be a part of it. Come check it out. We got plenty of channels. We're working on that stuff in Discord right now as we speak. We're actually working on some stuff, and just kind of ironing things out and getting little things a little bit better within our Discord.
And
So I'll get you
that's the
a
thing
link
too
to that
is,
too.
as our brand grows, we want to improve our community more and more. We want
Mm-hmm.
to establish that we are for our community and that we're going to help everyone out, and that's what we want. We want to, and we talked about transactions in this episode, and yes, we've talked about transactions within Rust, how to mitigate costs, how we can do that. And we've talked about keeping it, whether it be cosmetic, no pay to
Mm-hmm.
win, but we understand different things. We want to mix up, keep things cool, keep things fresh, but we have very serious conversations about
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. It's
Those are
been
things that
like we're talking
we are
here, right?
very serious about. Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So I mean, we're doing what we can to keep it the way it is. There might be some stuff out there, but we're definitely not gonna do pay to win.
No.
That is not on our agenda. It's never gonna be on there.
Oh, as
Will
long
there
as
be
I'm here, we will.
will there
As
will
long
there
as I am
be
in those meetings,
will there be kits for starting up in the server? Absolutely. There'll be one, and it might just be a couple clothing that you have on. Will there be other stuff? There might be. It's all based on longevity, and that's something we're not probably going to add right away or even be a part of yet. Um, there's a lot of cool stuff we want to do. We want to have some stuff developed for this because I play on Rust servers all the time. I play on multiple Rust servers, so I'm always checking them out. I love seeing. I'm doing what New World did to to World of Warcraft and to EverQuest and all the other games out there. I'm sniping. I'm seeing what's working on other servers,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's stuff that's available. I love one server I play. I went to an EU server the other day and was playing on one that they had developed a really cool XP leveling system. I was like, man, where can I get this bad boy at? I'm almost to the point where I want to contact the owners of this server. I'm like, hey, where'd you get this made at? Are you making it? Is there something we can do to, team up? That kind of thing. Because it's a cool concept. I love that. I love seeing those things. Is it something I can develop? Probably not. I'm not. I don't. I probably could. It just would take me forever. So that's kind of stuff we're looking at. We're looking at stuff. Our vision is not for just right now. It's not for November 4th. It's for next year's in 2022 November 4th. We're looking at growing this over time. And there might be other games that we might mess with and do stuff with too. We've talked about that.
There
So
not might be. There will be other games
okay,
that we
there
talk.
will be. Sorry.
Like we that's the part of our
Yes.
community that we want to grow. If people within our community express wants to build a
Hmm.
community within another game, or whether when we grow, it will get harder to directly communicate. But like right now, you could directly hit us up, and we will
Hmm.
look into starting a community for that. Whether it's we entrust you to do it, or
Right.
we establish it ourselves.
We're a slow process. We're not going to throw anybody into something that maybe they're excited about, but you're still not going to get into it right away.
Oh,
Whether
we have
it's
huge
within.
plans for the future.
Oh
Huge.
yeah, we're doing a ton of stuff,
Yeah, baby
but we're
steps though.
trying to do it. We're trying to do it slow, right?
Yeah.
Our vision is huge, but
I had
our steps are
I
babies,
had to pump
right?
the brakes. What was it? Last night, the night before, I had to pump the brakes a little bit. Like, hey.
Oh
We're good.
yeah,
We're good a little far.
we're working on it.
Well, we're
It's
working.
something. I wouldn't say you pump the brakes. We just talked about and understand that it wasn't the perfect fit for us right this moment,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're wanting this. Absolutely, we're wanting this, and we're trying to hold ourselves back because we want it now. But is it right for us right now? No. But will it be? Absolutely. So it's something as a company that we're excited about and what we're doing, and we're learning. I've owned businesses in the past. I've worked with them in the past, and had some fails. Had quite a bit of them. So we're learning from those things and trying to make this a much better experience than we've had before. So
As I've expressed it, and this will be my leaving note, is that this adventure for me is just me planting the tree or the seed in the fertilizer of my other failures. I have had many other failures, and this is just me planting a seed in their fertilizer. That is it.
right.
I will not give up. I will continue to move on, and we will continue to grow this. And this will be something that we're proud of. We're both very passionate about it, and we're really excited, like we said. But with that said, this is our time to say goodbye. We duked it out hard. Let us know who won the fight. If you're in YouTube, in the comments, who won the fight?
Guy on the left. Guy on the
Who?
left.
Give
Absolutely.
us your tally card. Give us your scorecard. Who got it? Maybe you agree, disagree. Again,
Maybe, yeah.
down in the comments, you can leave it there. And if you're not
Yeah,
subscribed to us on
no
YouTube yet,
decision.
excuse me, get down there, do it.
Yes.
DukNilla YouTube. That's it. Just type in DukNilla. We're like the first search
Absolutely.
result.
Yep.
That's it. Whether you like us for
Get
here,
on there.
football, whatever it is. But with
You'll
that
see
said,
more stuff too. So.
from myself, from Duck, we hope you have a great night, great day. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming after this. I contemplate this every night, but we shall see. Duck, will you be streaming after this?
Probably not.
Unbelievable.
I want to play some Rust though, so maybe.
I know you should stream some New World
I
so
want to
we
play
can
New
watch.
World. Well,
should...
hold on. Let's see.
Oh.
Let's see. Where were we at the beginning of the cast? 1800.
Yeah, something like that.
We're at 1100 now, so maybe tomorrow.
All right, so you're gonna come play Tarkov with me and Matt, and I haven't even messaged Matt. I assume if I message Matt, he'll come play Tarkov with us.
Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna drag you into some Rust though. I got a server in mind for us to play on. Come on.
With that said, everybody have a great night. We'll see. We'll see for the football cast on Tuesday or next Wednesday for the gaming cast. Have a great day.